Okay, well, hey, now it's time to head on home again. I want to talk a little bit about this weekend's or this week's coming adventure. So let's get the bike fired up and get on the freeway and let's do this. Helmet on. Now with a little luck, this whole configuration is going to change. I've really been struggling with the whole motovlogging setup and apparatus, and though I've got something that's working right now, it's not satisfactory for two reasons. One, I don't like this boom that I've got stuck in front of my face, for the fact that I can't seem to get keep the dead cat hair out of my mouth. It's okay right now. Let's see how it is once I'm up to speed. I just did a little test with it, and quality was pretty good. Because I had it before with just the microphone with the dead cat, and having it right up by my mouth, it was okay. Although if I speak too loudly, speak slowly, Kurt. Speak lowly. If I speak too loud, it makes the audio crappy. I'll try to speak at a lower voice, then I have to have the microphone closer. Let's ride. So the other problem is that with having this boom sticking out, literally a little extension, I can't close the modular shield on the helmet, and that kind of defeats the purpose of having that modular unit. I'd like to be able to do that. So, oh, look at that sunset. So I ordered today the GoPro adapter. This would be the micro USB adapter to 3.5 millimeter audio input jack thingy, which is kind of a bulky, clumsy affair, but I'm going to give it a try, and that will allow me to input sound directly into the GoPro. Right now I've got the audio going into the Cine Prism 2, which is the backward facing camera, so that's why I really have to link those two up. And that's why I honk my horn whenever I start. You guys don't hear it because it's before I start the recording. To synchronize things. It'd be nice to be able to stop that, and also to not have to record the rear video. So to do this, when I get the new microphone, I'm going to have to try to wire it in. Whenever I have the microphone, when I get it, I'm going to wire it into the modular part of the helmet. So I'll have the helmet closed when I'm making audio. Look at a big accident over here. And I'll have the helmet closed, but I'll leave the visor open so it won't have that tinny sound. Oh no, look at that, what's going on? I see ambulance. Doesn't look good. Lots of looky-loo traffic too. That truck belching out all that gross stuff. Anyway, I just know that from past experience that trying to make that change is going to take days and days. Look at that truck belching out all that black smoke. I don't think there's a problem with it. He's just got a, black smoke belching truck. It's going to take days to figure that out. I'm kind of tired of trying, but the result is good. I like being able to do this. This is fun. Well, let's talk about what's going to happen in the next, as of tomorrow. Well, I go on adventures every 2 weeks. I have my Friday off at work, and that's my adventure day. And so I will head out tomorrow after work on Thursday out to the desert and make my way out to the deep water wilderness, namely Siberia, the ghost town. I've got my apprehension about this one. Largely because I haven't been, usually before a trip like this I get myself in physical shape, work out, do lots of walking, even carrying the pack around. I haven't been doing that. So maybe I'll just, instead of doing a lot of backpacking, maybe I'll just moto pack. I think I just made a new term, moto pack. Moto tour, and camp out in the desert here and there. We'll see. But I always have this anxiety before an adventure. Always. And it's always been a struggle. I guess especially now, maybe less so now. Now that I know what it is that I'm afraid of, which is the great indifference. And even though I know it's nothing, literally nothing, it still it scares me. It sounds like I'm talking in circles. It kind of does. But it's true. This is factual. This is like having a sensor and detecting nothing, and then stating that my sensor detects nothing. And that is what my sensor detects. I'm not saying there isn't something there that just can't be detected. That's possible, but until such detection is shown to be true, I'm going to operate as though there's nothing there. I think that's a reasonable position. Anything more than that, adding anything more to the equation is supposition, speculation, wishful thinking, and not good stuff upon which to build a worldview. So I've been pleased with the responses that I'm getting from the book. Sales are, it's just an independently published book, but I can't expect a lot. But I'm selling books, if not every day, every other day for sure, both ebooks and physical copies. And what's really great is that people are writing to me and letting me know their thoughts. Other than some constructive editorial feedback, helping me to it's constructive criticism basically, helping me to improve it. It's been very very positive stuff. It seems so far that the people that have ordered the book have largely been the people that for whom the book was written. And I've had some interesting email correspondence and follow-up with these people. Not surprisingly, so far, most of them are relatively young people. They're 20-somethings. And that fits in. That's pretty much targets the demographic as well that I was after. I mean, it's not that 30s, 40s, 50s might not be receptive to the book, or might not find it interesting or its contents relevant. I think those in their 20s still have their best opportunity to capitalize on some realizations that are in the book that took me decades to find a way to make good use of. So I'm very very happy with the reception so far. And I've got it down now, so I altered my the fee structure on Amazon such that I don't make any profit now. I think the current price is $6.06, and that's all for Amazon. I think it's like $3.62 cents is for the publishing, the actual cost of publishing, and the rest is profit for Amazon. So they're making about $3. Or a little less than that, $2.50 on profit on each sale. I'm not making anything, and I'm not doing that, because I'm an angel. I'm doing that because I'm not after, having someone buy me an extra cup of coffee. I'm after the book finding its way into the hands of someone to whom it might be useful. And so if it's a little cheaper, then that's a good thing. Doing 60 miles an hour right now. Imperial Highway is up here in just a bit. If you watch these videos regularly, you might be becoming familiar with my commute. I did my Good Life meditation this morning, and I think it was a pretty good one. It was kind of very concise, and I might produce it, and I might upload it. But the problem was it was muffled because I had the full sock on it. So, but I might just do that. it was heartening to get an email from someone who said it was precisely one of those videos that they, kind of brought them. How do I say it without sounding creepy? Lured them in. That's totally creepy. But that's kind of what happened. Like I said, I have a mission with my book. And my mission is to save, is to basically I want to do two things. I want to prevent people from killing themselves when they encounter the thing that I've encountered, and that fact leads them to that edge. Some find their way out of that by turning to things like religion, but to people that are kind of like me, to whom religion, they don't have the constitution, they don't have the stomach for it. If they don't find anything else, they may despair of what they've discovered, and they may seek an untimely exit. And I'm after those people. It's like, I want to get to them before they, for lack of a more subtle or eloquent term, but before they go over the edge. We're coming up the 91 freeway now that I'm on. The westbound 91 is about to make a juncture with the 55, and I'm going to be on the 55, so I need to be over to the left. This is typically, it piles up the traffic here, so I can kind of split through these cars. It's fun to kind of stand up and look through. But again, I feel creepy. I feel weird doing that, so I don't. So, though, to that point, I got an email from someone who said that it was they hadn't seen any of my videos for quite a while, and that one of my touchy-feely, I don't know if it was a good life or maybe a going alone video, but anyway, one of the videos that had the little, going alone trailer thingy at the end, they happened to just show up. That video showed up in their feed. They watched it and they were like, "Oh, Kurt's got a book." They ordered the book, and it hit the mark. Square in the mark, it seemed, in terms of, there's a certain group that kind of I'm not necessarily saying that they think the way I think, or that but I think we have kind of a similar, our makeup is kind of similar. We're the kind of people, like some people, like if you hand some people like a book like Thoreau, and I'm not trying to impugn anybody's intelligence or belittle anyone at all. Taste is independent of intelligence, and taste is what it is. I know some really smart people who, if you give them, there's a motorcycle coming up behind me. Let's pull over. You guys can probably see it if I got that rear camera on. Sounds like a cruiser. There, it's actually that was a. There's another bike. That was actually an adventure tour bike. There's a cruiser. Let's get behind these guys. I mean, I know some really smart people who, really are turned off by the flowery language of Thoreau and Emerson and Hawthorne, and those that 19th century, dark romance style writing, the paragraph long sentences and stuff like that. They just don't want anything to do with that. And that's cool. And there's some that don't want to have anything to do with the sentiments of that kind of stuff. They're not interested in not just the words, but the ideas, for whatever reason. Then that's all right. And my book, it definitely was influenced by the writings of Thoreau and Emerson and Hawthorne and Melville, and not to mention go way back to Greek thinkers and philosophers. Um, but I definitely I somehow managed to acquire over time that that love of the paragraph long sentence. You know, the lots of semicolons and hyphens, and you know, lots of adjectives and adverbs. And whoa, 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 whoa! Look at that guy go! All that stuff. I mean, not for its own sake, but when it reads beautifully. I really love that. And I was talking to a correspondence in email during my lunch break today with one young man who decided after reading my book, he decided that he'd read Walden. And you know, I had my first misgivings. I was like, oh yeah, great. You know, I was like, because I know that Walden's not for everybody, but it's for enough that it's become a classic. It's a literary classic, and will be enshrined in the library of human literature for forever, as long as we've got a library of human literature. I mean, so there's enough of us out there to keep it on the shelves of the bookstore, but but for most, you know, Walden, they can take it or leave it, or mostly leave it. And he wrote back, and he told me how Thoreau's words touched him and the writing style touched him, and I was heartened, and I was gladdened, and I was, you know, to use those strange. Did I just make a bunch of strange strange adverbs or verbs? Gladdened and heartened. I'm talking like the romance writers now. Oh, something behind me. Just a car. So anyway, yeah, I guess, you know, it's worthwhile to post these things, you know. And I will. And like I've said before, and I'm repeating myself a little bit, but even if it costs me my channel, you know, even if my subscribers all leave, and you know, because there's a lot of people who signed on to my main YouTube channel for either Japan adventure, that's probably the vast majority, or to a much lesser degree, the Going Alone America videos. You know, some people maybe for the moto vlogging, a very small number, probably count that on two hands. Those people, if I start making, you know, lots and lots of good life videos, you know, that daily repetition of my affirmations and principles and objectives, you know, I imagine I'm going to lose a lot of subscribers. And I guess that's okay, because then, you know, the time has changed. You know, new clothes for the new man. You know, and I'm not going to run off to another channel. I think I've learned my lesson from that. It's going to be on this channel. It's a funny thing to do, to run off to another channel. I understand how it was useful back in the old days, before we could really use playlists well, but now it's really possible to differentiate. You just have to really be willing to pay the price of losing the audience that won't follow you where you're going, and it's a bruise to the ego to see the subscriber base dropping or the view count dwindling. But I just need to counter that with the increased number of emails that I'm getting from largely young people who are saying, you know, I get your story, I get what you're saying, and I'm going to try, and this is literally what I've had a couple of people say, you know, I'm literally going to try a new tact on my life and try to live in a more deliberate, purposeful manner. And if I can't find purpose out there objectively in the world, then I'm going to endeavor to use the intelligence that I have and the experience that I have and the motivation that I have to create some meaning and create and define what a good life consists of, and then pursue that. Well, that's so much more reward than you know, view count or subscriber count, or even, of course, much more than AdSense numbers. There's a lot of traffic over here right now. I wonder what's going on. We've even got brake lights in this lane. Pardon me, I'm sorry for my sniffling. Ooh, wow, lots of traffic. I'm gonna need to cut across all of that in just a bit. Get over to the 5, so I'll look for my slot. And I think I'll try to get in front of this truck right here. Swoop right in. Love the sound of that engine. Slow it down. Swoop in over again. I gotta watch out. Lots of people darting back and forth, left and right up here. So I'll try to swoop over one more time. 4th gear now. I will split lanes here sometimes, but it's a little bit of a hazardous place to do so. You can see, looking ahead, there's lots of people moving back and forth as they decide to, they choose their lane, whether they want the 5 freeway, the 55 freeway, or a 4th Street off-ramp. Look at this guy riding that car's butt right there. Maybe this van wants in. I'll back off a little bit, but he doesn't have a blinker on. Dangerous being where I am right now too. This is the lane where people will slide in from the right, so I'm going to move over. No one over there. I'm pretty safe over here. And this is a good spot. I can split from here now too. Usually everybody's decided where they want, which lane they want by now. So we're going to come up and go up and over the 5. Remember the first time I did this and I was lane splitting up and over the top, how nervous I felt. A couple of people still changing lanes. I guess this person's probably going to want to get off at the next off-ramp. I'm standing up now. Got a nice view of things. Maybe a little haircut on this dead cat will help out. I have a couple strands in my mouth right now. Okay, now we're about to go up and over. Stand up a little bit. We can see, have a nice view. Maybe see some of the OC. See the evening view out to Newport Beach, perhaps. Okay, here we go. Get over here. Might be able to see the buildings of Newport Beach over there. Lots of some brake lights right ahead of me. There's Irvine. A little bit of a tight squeeze. There's an airplane going right over here. That's the Southwest Airlines jet about to make its landing at John Wayne Airport. A little bit of a tight squeeze right in here. Look at that 5 freeway northbound, all those white lights. People leaving South Orange County, heading out to probably out to their homes in the Inland Empire, where homes are more affordable. There's nothing, you can't even spell affordable in Orange County anymore. You know, pretty much given up the idea that, you know, we'd ever own a home here. But I've kind of come to like apartment living. Apartment living has taken on a different quality in Orange County now than what I used to think of apartments. You know, you used to be back in the day, you think of apartments as a place for people to live who were either saving up for a home or couldn't afford a home or whatever. And when I came back to America, I thought that's how we were going to have to live. You know the type, kind of the boxy or rectangular buildings with 2 stories and the stairways going up and the potted plants and maybe a common laundry room for everybody to share. You know, and you know, the landlord, Schneider, I could just go on and on. All the characteristics, thin walls, banging the ceiling with a broom handle, keep it down up there, all that kind of stuff. Well, I guess due to the fact that housing has just become so unaffordable in Orange County and in Los Angeles, but particularly places like Orange County, South Bay, other places, there's so many people that just can't afford a place to live, but they could afford a pretty good, especially with two wage earners income, they can afford a pretty good payment. If you get two people each making between $50,000 and $100,000 each a year, you can go by. You can pay $2,000 plus a month, which is quite average now around here. I mean, that's actually in South Orange County. That's the starting prices for a one bedroom are about 20 for one bedroom would be about $2,100 a month. Good up to South Bay, Santa Monica area, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you're up into 3,000 range real quick. So developers have taken advantage of capitalized on that by saying, hey, there's a lot of people out there to whom apartment living is not an option for them. It's not something that's a temporary thing. This is going to be the way that they live as long as they're in a community like this. And they've begun creating really, destination point communities, apartment communities. These are lease-based communities that are pretty high price point, but you get a really well-made, really secure home chock full of amenities. And I mean really, really nice amenities, like, full gym, 2 or more, really beautiful, saltwater pools. I mean, really beautiful, well maintained, socializing areas that people really use, with gas barbecues and full outdoor kitchens, full entertainment centers, lounge areas. The place that we're in even has a little restaurant. And these are, you have to pay a pretty high price for this stuff, but at the same time, they're building them in such a way as to make them pretty affordable. And washer, dryer in every unit and all that kind of stuff. I mean, and a lot of people are beginning to choose these types of communities over home ownership. And my family and I have really come to like this option because it gives us the flexibility of a 12 to 18 month lease. And with a daughter that's about to go off to college, this is a useful thing. Our current lease will expire 2 months after she finishes high school and 1 month before she finishes junior college. So we can transition to a new place close to wherever she's going to go to junior college. And we don't have to worry about all the maintenance and stuff. I mean, they'll even come change the damn light bulbs. For the example, the place we're in now is like living in a hotel, a fine hotel. And you've got the leasing office, and they've got like the maintenance centers is available, and you just get on the web and send out a service request. They'll come up, change the light bulb, do whatever needs to be done, unplug the drain, anything's broken, and the construction is really good. You can't, you really have to scream to be heard through a wall. So I'm sorry if it sounds, I don't mean to come across like bragging or anything like that. This is the face of normal now, at least in a place like Los Angeles. And it's becoming more so, and it's a controversial thing, due to gentrification. Because if you don't match that demographic that can afford $2,000 plus a month, if you're talking about a family, it's going to be $2,600 to $3,000 a month in Orange County. If you can't afford that, then that's a really tough one, and people whose families that don't have that combined income are being driven out of the area, and that's a problem. So that's also one of the reasons why some families really pile on. You'll have a residence that has 3 or 4 wage earners under one roof just to get by. That's a problem. It's a problem for the quality of living. So it's not optimal. It's definitely exclusive. I see lots of problems with it, but you know, as just an individual family looking for a way to get by in a new land, it's turned out to be a pretty good option for us. And surprise, surprise, I've actually come to enjoy apartment living, and could definitely see us staying in someplace just like this for the duration of my career. I've got 13 more years till I retire, and I know that's going to go pretty fast. I could definitely see us. I could live in this current circumstance without any problem in that time. But there's South Irvine. You can see the buildings right there. Almost back. This will gun up the engine of the old GSA video gunship, doing 80 miles an hour right now. Wonder how the audio quality is now. We're about to swing off the freeway here on the Barranca, fast lane exit, or the carpool exit. I love coming off this. Hopefully this guy won't change his mind. Let's get past just in case. And go ahead and stand up. And I got full wind coming down. He pulling the clutch, and now we're just cruising. Just inertia leading us up this freeway. Starting to drop down through the gears. 5, 4, 3. There's the buildings of Irvine right there. 2, 1. And I know that was very tactful of me to talk about such things, and that's usually the type of thing that I don't like to talk about, living circumstance or even my personal life very much. But maybe I've done a pretty good job in the last year of avoiding that in just about every way. I think people even wonder if I have a family anymore because I don't talk about them. I do, and we're fine. I just don't talk about it anymore. There's better things to do. And I know people are curious. I get email and messages. And I'm curious too sometimes about other people, but I think I kind of I changed. I mean, I'm just not that exhibitionist that I used to be. And I'm not I don't want to say that. I will, because you'll wonder what the hell I was talking about. I'm not capitalizing on my family. I think I did that to a degree, unknowingly, because it was those videos made views, those posts made views. I was kind of using them as advertising. Maybe I wasn't doing that, but in hindsight, it kind of looks like that. I just want to, draw a fence around that. Draw a fence around my personal life. That might mean there's more quiet moments where I just don't have anything to say. In which case I won't start the video, or I'll turn it off, or there'll just be a quiet spot. Rather than filling it up with the latest news from Lake Irvine. Gave my book to a copy of my book yesterday to someone. To whom, definitely someone to whom it wasn't, I didn't intend it to go for. Not in so far as that. I don't mean that. The reason being is that I don't think that the worldview that's in there will be, well, how do I say it? Well, he's a Christian. At least that's what I gather so far, and my nihilistic, godless worldview, probably won't sit well with that world. Well, I know it doesn't sit well with that worldview. I've tried it out a couple of times, and I'm not out to make people uncomfortable or challenge their deeply held beliefs. So, it's one of the reasons why I don't promote the book overtly very much. More, I like to simply include it like I'm doing now as a tail end of my videos, so that anybody that might have gotten to that far in my content anyway might also be someone who might be receptive to my message. I'd rather have it discovered that way than have me thrusting it into someone's hands and saying, here. Especially when I know that my message may not jibe with what they think. But I did it, largely because he recognized I was carrying it. That sounds kind of strange to me. Yeah, walking around with my own damn book. I was, because what I do is, there we go. I order a copy for myself, and then I've so far read it cover to cover one time, and I edit it. I do that at work while I'm walking around. I take my breaks and I walk around and I edit with a yellow highlighter pen. Excuse me. Find mistakes, grammar mistakes, punctuation, editing, anything at all, and I mark it, and then I go home at night and I fix that. That's the way I'm kind of revising the document. I found that to be a useful tool. But that puts me in a position of walking around with a book under my hand, and I've been afraid all along, because I run into my coworkers all the time, because we all kind of walk the same course. And they see me walking around reading books, and I've been reading other books too, but now I'm reading my own damn book. And they see me, and I'm always afraid someone's going to say, "What you reading?" And I'll tell them, and they'll say, who wrote that? Or they'll notice my name, and how awkward would that feel? So, and that's exactly what happened. And he noticed, and he even said, "Is that your book?" I was like, "Oh, yes." I'm stumbling over myself. I'm trying to tell him in 5 seconds why I'm carrying my book around. I'll just check my mail real quick. Oh gosh, a lot of it. So so I gave him that. And I hadn't gotten through that copy. I just ordered that copy in order to. That was the second one, and so I hadn't gone through that yet. I only got through the first chapter. I was in the second chapter, and so I ordered another copy. That should be here today or tomorrow. And then I can start reading through it again. And it's a trouble. It's a difficult thing because I keep finding stuff I don't like and I want to change it. And it's embarrassing because I publish it and people are ordering it. Whoa, and wrong floor. And I keep thinking, oh no, they're getting it with these errors in it. But I'm finding this is a good catalyst and motivation. And I apologize if anyone watches this who bought the book. You're getting a draft copy kind of, because it keeps iteratively getting better. Excuse me. So but that's really provoking me to read it and edit it. So here's where we live. Talking about the apartment before, and I'll show you the pool, which is my favorite place. I'll be in the water in 30 minutes. You can see it's a kind of a courtyard area here, and this is the student lounge. The students come here. Pool tables over here. We got a little restaurant in here. All kinds of stuff down there, fountains and stuff. And here's the big pool. This is where I swim. So I do 10 laps every night. These fireplaces are nice. Jacuzzis over there. I like these little cabana thingies. It's a saltwater pool. Of course, it's heated. And you see how nice it is? And we're all closed in. It's very secure. Everything up here is on the second floor. It's like a little village, and you can't get in unless you've got the key to get in. So it's very safe. It's very quiet. Very, you can come here, you can be here on the weekend and spend the whole weekend in here and feel like you're living in a resort and never leave. Here's another little lounge area over here. I think there's some people by the fire. Little television over there by a kitchen bar thing. Some people hanging out by the fire. Some people barbecuing right there. So anyway, let me pull the helmet off real quick. Go ahead and stop the video here. Assuming it's still on. Go on. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Take care. Have a great evening. Make it a good life. Take care. GoPro, turn off. GoPro, stop recording.